What's up? This is Gordon Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man, Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Trench in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy, Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let me start it off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. So, today, we're going to get into some grown and sexy conversations. This is the Relationship Roundtable. And we got a lot to talk about. We haven't done this in a few weeks. And we're going to try it out. See what's up. See what's on your mind. Hey, I wanted to mention first, so they had Mr. Kelly's trial in Chicago today. And I'm seeing that he could have gotten a possible 20, 30 more years added to his sentence. But because of something, I don't know what it is, they put another day on there. So he's still not getting out till he 80-something years old, but almost 80 years old. But, still, this is the price that you pay. This is what you had it all, and now it's gone. So there's a relationship question for you, Mr. Kelly. No, I'm not going to even do it. I'm not going to do that. Let me bring my guy on. What's up, Life Coach?
What's going on, dog? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm getting everything set up. Just have a good conversation with the wife,
Is that right?
Yes, that's right. About some relationship stuff today. Boy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Might have to throw a couple of your questions in, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. It's pretty interesting.
It's always interesting when we talk about, and I'm not just us, but when we talk about relationships, period, man. Because it's amazing to see, we know how a relationship is supposed to go.
Definitely.
The beginnings, the middles, the ends, all right? But a lot of people, including ourselves, we don't go by the book. We do some different things.
That's true.
Which is cool. It's cool, but sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Sometimes it don't.
Sometimes the woman want to be the man.
The man want to be the woman. Hey. Hey, that's the real talk, man. You already know.
Real talk, man. Shout out to everybody who's going through something. I hope you get to it.
Yeah,
for real. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, man. And I'm wondering where the rest of the crew at.
Whoa, we gonna be the ones discussing this? Oh, hold on.
Hey, man,
this is going to be interesting.
We've been holding it down for a couple of days, so it's all good. It's no problem. Yeah. We invite you guys to come in, chime in.
Definitely.
And give us your thoughts on some of these questions. And we got some doozies. That's a word. We got some doozies for you guys. Hope everybody's had a great Thursday. Hated the show, but I hope everybody's had a great Thursday. It's been a day. But that's okay. We here for it. Let's welcome Mother Time.
He said Mother Time.
I'm gonna let you have that one because I'm not.
What's going on
today? Hey Jeff, how you doing?
I'm all right.
You were a little late.
Funny.
We give that to you though. I know you're real busy out
I
there.
had to find, yeah, and I had to find the link too. So I'm like, I'm
You
sliding
didn't
in.
have to ask.
I'm sliding in.
You didn't have to ask.
Hmm?
You didn't have to ask for the link.
No, not
You
today.
don't
I had
ever
to
really
find
have
it.
to ask. But I got you. Don't worry about it. All right, but shout out to everybody who's tuning in, and shout out to everybody out there that's getting ready to hear this crap. We get ready to throw that out. Right?
Those two.
We get ready to throw that out. Oh, those two yesterday you should have.
No,
Hey,
I'm good.
Let's get to that. Okay,
It was good though. It was
good.
it was really good.
And
You
shout out
guys
to
behaved.
Reuben Johnson. All right,
Yeah.
Jeff, did you finish watching that?
Yes,
Reuben
I did.
The
Yes.
one. It was actually
Yeah.
good.
That was
good.
All right.
that was
all right,
A1.
Ruben.
That was A1.
It was shot well. The audio was well.
Yes.
Plot was well. The
Plot was
actors
well.
were good.
Everything.
Like, man,
Okay,
It was
I'm gonna have to
dope.
watch it.
I gotta
was
send you the link. I gotta send you the link because
Yeah.
it was a private link and you had to have a password and everything for that.
Mhm.
Okay, send it.
You're good. It was
Okay,
pretty
well.
good.
It was dope.
Let's get into this, and I'm just gonna ask this right out: is sex overrated?
Yes and no.
Give
I'll
us
say-
your answers for that, Coach.
I'm gonna say yes and no because when you single, you know, people always want to say just go out, have fun, have fun, have fun.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well.
So I was having a lot of fun.
Oh,
But your
yeah.
boy was woe out. You know, I was woe out. You still get tired, you still get weird. You got to realize you have a life.
Let me get my coaching finger and step up out here.
You know, you gotta realize that you have a life. So I believe sex is overrated because of how maybe over sexualized things can be now. You know what I mean? But then when you actually get into that relationship, for some people, I ain't gonna say I speak for everybody, but you not having sex 3, 4, 5 times out the week. You know what I mean? You start to settle in your lives and you're normal people. And then it kind of sucks, but you have to prioritize it. I think we don't talk about that enough. You know what I mean? When we start talking about relationships, dating, marriage, that you actually have to prioritize that into the relationship more, you know?
I mean,
young buck making some sense up there. What?
it could be an important factor in your relationship, all right? If you make it that, all right? And if both people are reciprocal, you gonna be burning up some counter space and stuff, whatever. You know, it's gonna be nice, all right? But you can't make that. I don't think you can make it a priority. You should make it a priority. There's other things in the relationship that needs to take precedence.
Hopefully, if it's a true relationship, yeah,
if it's true and you love each other and you talk about it. Tanisha says sex is a bonus.
Facts.
I like how she put that. Yeah.
Tanisha, what do you mean? What do you mean a bonus though? I mean, it's like when you play a Wheel of Fortune and you get to the last round and you're in the bonus round and you got to pick letters.
And if you guess it right, you get the money.
There you go. I don't know.
Oh God, where's Gina?
Marcella, do you think sex is overrated?
What? Do I think what?
Sex is overrated.
Yeah. At times, yeah. I'm kind of in agreement with Jeff. Because, you know, sometimes people make that the only thing, you know, as far as, you know, the top priority for the relationship. And then let's say one of you gets sick or something happens. Will you still have a relationship?
Yeah.
Will you still have a relationship? So it is overrated. There's so much more with a true relationship. So, yeah, I would say yes.
All right. Now, and I can speak on it with the same thing that life coach just said, you know, because back in the day, boy, and I was on TV too, and it was being thrown at me left and right. And if you step that way, that's mine. And if you step over there, that's mine too. All right. So
what Santa Claus say? What do they say Santa Claus say? Jeff, what does Santa Claus say?
Well, ho, ho, ho.
Ooh.
She
was in that segue. That was a good one.
You're like,
Marcy,
what?
Marcy been reading the joke book. You reading the joke book. So good. Hey, get over that one. All right. Have you ever walked away from a relationship, but you were still in love?
Not in my adult years. When I was a teenager, You know, you when you thought what love was, yeah, you know what I mean. You think, it's so hurtful. No, but not in my adult years. I wanted to make sure that the door was shut and the door was closed because I ain't got no time to be going back. I actually had to tell one of my exes when she was trying to be friends. I said, there will never be a us. We're done. We're finished. I'm not going back to that. All the stuff that you did, I cannot handle that anymore. I could be cool with you. I could be cordial, but we not going down that road again. I'm not going to handle that no more.
What if she was the best in the world, man? Look, Jacinda Slaughter says sex is a very important part of a relationship. I don't think it's overrated in a healthy relationship. Even with health problems, there are different ways to have sex that can be a pleasure to both. Yeah, I agree with that.
It depends on the health problems. Yeah.
So Tanisha says in answer to in response to what you said, so you can't be friends afterwards?
It depends. My thing is you can and you can't, but you also have to take into account when you get with that next person, how is that friendship going to be viewed too? Because when you with somebody, you're just not thinking about it's not about just you anymore. Yeah, we all have selfish attitudes now. And I think that's a big problem with relationships and dating. We all want what we want. And we tend to forget about what the other person, what may be in their best interest. To me, that's just showing respect.
Yeah. And, not only, with the person that you get with later, let's say if that other person is still in love with you as well, but you had to go, can you be friends with that person, or will they take that the wrong way? Like, hey, I'm still in love with you. He seemed like he's in love with me. And like you told the person, we cannot be together. We won't ever be together. So sometimes you can't just be friends with that person, maybe right then, maybe later. But again, it just depends.
Okay, but you know what? Also, because see, Jeff didn't say you couldn't be friends. That's not what he said. Right. Depends upon the situation and how you guys broke up and things that went on in the relationship. Did you let that relationship get angrier and angrier and angrier and still stayed there instead of
that's toxic.
Talking about it? You know what I'm saying? The conversation has to be had at the beginning of the whole situation. Have that conversation. Let this person know this is me. This is who I am. This is what I do that people have said that and that's another question too. And I'll stop right there and ask the question. Do you listen to what your friends say about your new mate when you go into that relationship? They may know him already and heard things about him, all right, but do you listen to that stuff and let that kind of ruin up your situation? Before you answer that, Jacinda says, I walked away from a few relationships where I've been in love and loved that person. Love is as love does. I love me. And if that person's expression of love doesn't honor me, then he and I cannot coexist. Absolutely.
That's good.
That's
good.
But in answer to that question, your friends will say, oh, you with so-and-so? I heard he this and I heard he that, or I heard she's this and I heard she's that. Do you let that taint you? Because I can answer that a long time ago when I was young. I did. I definitely did. People were saying something, she's a tomboy and she's this and she's that. She's fine as hell. She's a tomboy and she likes to do this, she likes to do that. And I heard she this and I heard she that. And I was like, oh, really? So the next day after her and I said, yes, we together, the next day I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good.
Nope.
I don't know. That was the younger me. What do you think about that, Marcy?
The key word is I heard. They don't know. If it's something crazy like, hey, something that they know I will definitely not tolerate, I'm going to kind of, check into it and just see. Because a lot of times when people say I heard, I try to keep my friends and family members out of my relationships because this is my relationship. It's not their relationship. And sometimes, with friends, sometimes you find out later friends aren't friends, they're frenemies. And they might be checking them out as well, or just don't want to see you happy. They might not be in a relationship, so they decided you don't need to be in one either. And I've seen, friends that are like that, like, who Marcy thinks she is, we're all single. They're not with anyone, but now I have someone. And it's like, well, I don't, and sometimes there's jealousy, there's, things. It just depends on the situation, what they're saying. one of my pet peeves is to hear someone say, "Well, I heard."
Mhm.
If you're not an eyewitness, you're a false witness. That's how I look at it sometimes.
Misery loves company. What do you say about that, Coach?
No, I haven't let anybody's stuff really get in the way. Like,
Mhm.
even with certain people I was with, you know what I mean? It was stuff. It's funny because me and my wife just actually talked about some of this. And I said, you know, some people are very good in the beginning, you know what I mean, to show you something other than they're not. A lot of stuff you won't happen to see until you get inside. And then that's when you face with that decision. And what's sad sometimes is by that time, usually we've accepted for people who they are, and we are in love with that person. And we put ourselves through some extra hurt. And then we don't start talking the talk like saying, I love me until after we've been hurt. You feel me? After we've been hurt and we realize that that pain is sunk in. And now we want to go on our journey or quest to find out who we are while we're single. When we could have avoided that in the beginning. I've been there too. I ain't gonna talk about nothing that I ain't been through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can only talk about what I've gone through, and be it good or bad, you know, I'm here. That's all I can say. I'm here. But I don't think, you know, that one time was the only time I think that it tainted me, because after I got a little bit older, it's going back to the sex part. That's all I wanted was some sex. You know, I was, hey, whatever. You could, she what? Cool. That means she a big freak there, right? All right. I'll take that.
Oh, Lord.
Right, Jeff. I've had to make a lot of mistakes to get to this point.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah.
She I know she's always straight to the point. Okay. I don't know her very well, but I know from what I know that she's very straight to the point. So appreciate that comment, Jacinda. Here's another question. And be honest, guys. Be completely honest. Have you ever been the problem in the relationship?
Yeah. Go ahead, Marcy, since you shook your head first.
Yeah, you shook your head first, and a lot.
I've been the problem. There, you know, when I was younger, I didn't know how to. I was in a relationship, and I didn't know how to break it off, and I did not. I was not happy. So I just started
let me put an addendum on there. You're in a good relationship. The relationship's good, but for some reason you walked away. You know, were you the problem?
I could have been. I might not have been ready. You know, could have been. You know, well, not could have been. I wasn't ready for that relationship. It was a good relationship. Things would move a little bit fast. I did not want to get married. Hey, so I'm the reason.
Okay. Right, Coach?
I would say that there were issues that I did bring in, but it was never something that we could not discuss or talk about. I think, I don't know, man. I think just with how, and just with the relationships that I've been in, you know what I mean? And I look back on them, especially with my ex-marriage and everything like that. A lot of that is stuff we could have talked about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But even with that is perception, you know, people think somebody gonna get upset or somebody gonna get sad or something like that. I'm as open as gonna be.
Right.
You know what I mean? I let you know from the beginning who I am, how I operate, how I do stuff. So then when it happens, nobody has to play guesswork. What do women always tell you? I don't like surprises. So okay.
Say what they say?
I don't like surprises.
Oh.
So if you don't like surprises, you know, I'll listen. I won't give you none. You know what I mean? But then if something happens later in a relationship, and let's say we start talking about how I move, for instance, like sometimes, you know how it is, Greg, we take a phone call or something like that. It's not secretive, but it can seem that way just because of how we move. You know what I mean? Because I've been on that receiving end too. You know what I mean? Where somebody thought something was a secret was like, okay, well, you know, when you attack it at this angle, yeah, and depending on how I respond, it does seem like it'll be a secret. But if we were just talking about it, you know, I could just tell you who that person is. I have no problem telling you who that person is. If you put, because a lot of times, if we put our own thought process before the actual answer and the response, what are we doing? We're assuming. You know what I mean? So sometimes we have to it's up to us to get the assumption out of our mind and just hear that person as opposed to just say, all right, nah, I knew it was this, I knew it was that, because now what you're doing is you're fueling your own fire, you know?
So assumption, perception, and suspicion. It's kind of like what it sounds like. You know, you have a perception that something is going to happen, and then you assume, and then you become suspicious because, like you said, it's already been in your mind.
And that's
the whole story.
And that's why we should talk about stuff like that, because when certain problems arise in a relationship, sometimes people are indirectly unaware, you know, of what they're doing until that other person expresses and says, okay, this is what I go through, or this is how I actually feel about it. How you gonna know?
Absolutely. Jacinda says she's actually definitely been the problem before. One time in her 30s, she had a good man, but because she was so used to unhealthy behavior, she didn't know how to accept the healthy love and healthy behavior. So my dysfunction ran him off. God had to bring him to me so that I could see myself and that I was not ready for something else. You cannot bring healthy into dysfunction.
That is so true. And that is so much. Yes, that is very true. And that happens in a lot of relationships because you've been in, like she said, so many unhealthy relationships that becomes your norm. And you always talk about, I want a good woman, I want a good man. And when they come, you don't know how to act and you think something is wrong with them because they're not, you know, treating you all stank-a-dank and, you know, and things of that nature. And you stank-a-dank. Yeah, I did say that. And you
write that one down.
Yeah, write it down. And you know, so you don't know how to act. And then sometimes you like, you know, something's wrong with him. What? I know a couple of guys who I was like, why the guys not in a relationship, young guys? And they're like, because the women say we're too nice. I'm like, so what is it that you're doing too nice? Well, you know, things like, you know, I take them out. I tell them, don't pull out your purse. I got you. I open doors. I do things like this. And so they're told they're being too nice. And I'm like, so those are females that have been in unhealthy relationships and they don't know how to receive. Like, who was that? Jacinda? Who had that? Who was that just said that? Yeah, they don't know how to receive it.
I'm gonna tell you, man, I've been in situations. Well, I can tell you this first. You can't be a woman that I'm taking out and ever know how it feels to touch my car door. Okay. You can never know how it feels to touch that handle. Okay. Because I don't want you to. And I honestly, I get angry when you do. Let me do what I do as a man, as a real man. And let's get to the real man. I left you guys a message about a real man. Okay. You women, Marcella, this is what you guys do. You women, you get the fake eyelashes, you get the fake hair, you put all the makeup on, the tummy tuck, the Botox, and then you turn around and say, I want a real man. And you not real.
Okay. Okay, you said you women. Yes,
I know,
I wear makeup. I don't wear a lot of makeup. A lot of times people don't realize that I have makeup on. They'll see my, you know, what I have on my lips or whatever. But I don't wear a lot of makeup. But now, when we start coming to the eyelashes and the weaves and things like that, some women do go overboard. Some, and they do. Some go overboard. But most women do that to enhance their looks.
Okay.
And you know, and if that's not what you like, then that's not the type of woman that you go for.
But look at the deception. All right.
It's only a deception if they look totally different.
Some women, look, some of you women, you all are modest with what you do for yourself, and that's great. That's beautiful. Okay, and you're beautiful. All of you are beautiful women, but look at the deception sometimes when they're. And I'm not saying that to anyone specifically. I'm saying when you got the long eyelashes, and you know your eyelashes aren't that long. All right, I don't need to see that. You know, the makeup is fine. All right, but when you got the blush, look like somebody hit you in the jaw. All right.
Yeah, that's the overboard.
Come on, man, that's overboard stuff. All right. And if you got so much makeup on that you're light skinned and you're really dark, okay.
You talking about me now?
No,
powder faces. Now, when you see the powder face women, The women that you could tell like their skin is noticeably dark on their hand and on their neck, but then they set up here, they got clown face. That's what I say.
Exactly. And you got the push-up bras, okay? The push-up bras. Now we want to make them stand up and out so we can bring the unnecessary attention to ourselves, okay? You got the what else is there? You're getting the Botox, so your lips are really they fuller now, okay? But you're a black woman, you're gonna be full.
BBLs.
Come on. So I'm like, a lot of that's not necessary. I want to see a natural black woman. You know what I'm saying? I want you to just show me who you are, because after all of that stuff comes off, and your name is Lori, and all that stuff come off, and you look like Larry, I'm done. I can't do it.
Or it look like Larry.
That's your brother right there. That's your brother. I'm not even gonna claim it right now. And I understand what you're saying, because I've seen some of these internet where you see this woman and or what you think is a woman, you're not sure, and you're looking like, well, wait a minute. And then they put all this makeup on and they put the weave on, and then they have a side by side. And I'm like, I don't swear, but I swear that ain't the same person. You know,
all of them look like Michael Jackson.
It's just what you choose to like and not like. I don't wear all that stuff, all the stuff you just named. These are my eyelashes. In a fashion show, lady wanted to put one on, the makeup artist. I said no, and she was like, well, oh, you already have more. I said, no, those are my lashes. I don't know. I've seen a young lady. I was at a retail store, and I'm telling the truth. Her boobs were like right here, dang near at her neck. And I did like this, like, what the heck is wrong with this? I said, young baby girl, do you because she looked deformed. She looked deformed. And it's just, if you in the itty bitty club, be in the itty bitty.
The itty bitty, what club is that, Marcella?
I don't know, the itty bitty club.
No,
you want to finish it?
I finish it. You know me, Jeff. I don't want you to get in trouble.
The itty bitty what?
But if you in that, what you saying? What?
Say that again.
Would you like me to say it again?
The itty bitty.
Jeff, lead in.
Wait.
No, lead in.
I thought you said lean in. The itty bitty what?
Itty
club.
Committee.
Let it be.
It's a committee. It's a whole committee.
Because if you end up with the guy, and then if you end up, being together, he gonna know.
That's the other thing for me too, man. If you I like a woman with that's ample. I do. Okay, because the ones that I'm. You ask men. We're on the show. We ask men, what do you like on a woman? Okay, I like breasts. I do. So I'm not the one that's gonna be. You got all of this up in here, and then all of a sudden you take it off, and I got to be.
Wait,
I'm not that dude.
Okay, so we have another question here.
Yeah. Well, before you do that, okay, Jacinda says, understood on the natural part. Keep in mind that women have worn wigs and makeup since the beginning of time. The ancient Egyptian queens wore it as adornment and as part of religious ceremonies. For us, it's an expression. I don't have a problem with wigs and this and that, all right? Some of them, some people just look great with them, okay? But if your hair was not down here today, don't make it down here tomorrow. I'm sorry. Don't do that. I can't. You the old school Barbie where you press the button in the stomach and then you can pull the hair out and make it as long as you want. Okay, then press it in, you can push it back in.
What was that? A Barbie? A Barbie doll? You had that?
Something like that.
Did I have it? Like that?
Did I have it?
Yeah. You had a Barbie doll that did that?
My nieces did. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Marcella. Did you have it?
Guys.
Did you have it?
No, I had it. It was a different doll. They were called Velvet and Chrissy.
What? Oh, you had the black girls.
Mm-hmm.
Sure you did. She's lying. They didn't have the black girls back then. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they did. Look up Velvet and Chrissy. Velvet was Chrissy's cousin, and Velvet was the black girl.
Anyway,
interesting.
They didn't have.
I wouldn't know.
They didn't, man. They ain't had no black dolls back in the day. All of them was white. Anyway.
We had black dolls in my family. Sorry.
Have you ever heard a woman say, you get in your relationship and you say, I love you so much, I just die if something happened. If we broke up, I just die. And her black ass is still living after y'all broke up. You told me that you was going to die if we broke up.
This bad.
So you left her so she can die because you wanted her dead.
She said, it was a great moment too. Oh, I don't know what I would do if we broke up. I would just die if we broke up. Okay. All right. We break up maybe 3-4 months later. And then 3-4 years later, I run
She's
into her.
reincarnated.
Some people not willing to take their own life.
She's supposed to be dead, dude. She's supposed to be gone. Don't do that. I don't like that. Look here. And Jeff, you touched on this earlier.
Mhm.
If you get a phone call,
Mhm.
and you're used to this, all right? You just with this girl, but you get up and you go into another room when the phone calls.
Mhm.
When the phone call comes in, are you automatically categorized, as Marcy had said with those words she used, cheating?
Okay. Now this is
Here
what.
we go. I like this
Okay.
when he says okay.
Now this was this
Yeah,
was
you gotta
the
explain it.
this was the very interesting conversation I had with my wife earlier. And I had to tell
hold
her,
on, Jeff. I got to put you on
you
the
gonna put me on the big one?
Let's
Okay.
go. Let's go.
Let's hear this.
Okay. So we touched on this. And when we touched on this, I said, I have seen, and I'm friends with men who haven't said or said certain friendships about certain women because they know the person that they with. Prime example. If I take that phone call in the other room, and even I know it's a damned if I do, damned if I don't chance. So this means 100% of the time, this is what's going to happen.
Right.
That woman is going to say, who is she?
Yeah.
Why is she calling you? Also, depending on time of night, because Greg, we did add like 2 in the morning. We were talking about 1, 2 in the morning.
Okay.
So I said, for instance, okay, I said, if my friend Shay calls me, it's 2 in the morning. I've only done that one time. I haven't done it, but let's say I did it that one time. I picked up the phone because she didn't know who else to call. I said, girl, what's going on with you? And we talked for a moment, and that's it. I'm going to get that. Who is she? Why is she called 2 a.m.? I'm going to get attitude behind it. Right. Now, everything that I say can be justified because that's just my friend. You know what I mean? Shay calls me at 2 in the morning. It really could have been something in distress, blah, blah, blah. I give people benefit of doubt. But the fact still remains, I'm not looking at Shay in that way.
Right.
Who knows if she's looking at me in that way? I'm not here to assume. She said something. She called me. She either said something was going on. We talked for a moment. Done. And I don't expect her to do that again. And the thing is, if you get that call and you go into another room, sometimes and I know women y'all not gonna agree with me on this, but it's that man, sometimes he's trying to like protect your feelings. It's like, exactly. Look, we know how you gonna feel with that about this other woman. Just because I happen to take this phone call in another, that doesn't mean I'm trying to do something without you knowing. What I mean by without you knowing is that don't mean I'm stepping outside of my relationship. You got to hear, because to understand it from a man's standpoint, sometimes it's stuff that we don't. Sometimes, Marcy, it's stuff that we don't want to deal with.
Are you talking about still some woman calling you at 1, 2, 3 a.m.?
No. I justified that point. I said if she called me for that situation, I justified that. If she calls me at that time, and me being the controlling, the one that can control that situation, I'm gonna go ahead and see what's going on. Why you call me at this time? Are you good? Everything okay? Okay, I'm expecting that person to have enough. For Shay, yes, I'm expecting her to have enough respect for my relationship not to call me. Now, if she does, now look here. If she does it again, now guess what? I have a choice if I can pick up.
Exactly.
Now you see what I mean? I have a choice if I can pick. If she calls me, and this is the big thing I said with my wife. I said I can't control the actions of another person. So if that woman chooses to call me at 2 o'clock in the morning, that doesn't necessarily mean I was doing something. That don't mean that I was doing something wrong. If somebody has my number, they can pick up the phone and call me whenever they want to.
Anytime.
It's what I choose to do with it. Or I can put that person on block.
Okay. And now you went all the way over there. But the question too was, if what was that, Greg? If you continue when you get calls, how was that?
Continuing.
If you get a call and you go into the other room.
No. Yeah. But you said continually if you're getting calls.
I didn't say that.
You didn't?
He said if you get a call.
I basically said if your mate goes into another room every time the phone rings.
Every time.
Okay.
Every time the phone rings. You know, I understand sometimes it can be business. But if it's like, I gotta take this out here, I gotta take, and you looking shady. Yeah, I'm the type, I'm gonna question like, what's up? Because sometimes men don't have a poker face And when they're doing wrong, they look ignorant. And we got women intuition. We a lot of times like,
Ooh,
oh, you know, you
hold
kind of
on.
like looking
Ooh, let's
crazy.
go back. Hold on. Can we shift gears, Greg?
Dude.
Can we shift gears, Greg? Because you heard the conversation I had.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Give me
This is
5
different.
minutes.
This
When she said
what
that
you
one thing,
said,
that's what I said.
I'm okay. No, I'm okay with what you said about Shay. You know,
Yeah.
Megan knows you have a friend, Shay, and I like the comment that you made. You know, oh, this might have been something, and you shared it with your wife, like, hey, you know, whatever. But if you're constantly every time, you know, like the phone keep ringing, and you constantly got to keep going out the room, whether it's 1, 2, or whatever, you know, that's like,
yeah, that's disrespectful.
And you know, that's why I said, you know, he said every time.
Okay,
and that's why I asked him to read it again, because that's a little bit different. If every time your phone ringing, and that's why I said, and you looking kind of shady, because when men and women, when you cutting up, you know, you're wrong. You got a crazy, you know, like you trying to keep a straight face, but it ain't a straight face.
Okay,
you think it is.
Jeff, I'm gonna let you say what you got to say, but then I got to say, I got to put an addendum to that question. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Now, me and my wife was talking about women's intuition. Now this is for my this is for my biblical people out here. I ain't saying everybody go ahead, follow the Bible. Y'all know how I feel. Some of y'all listen to the podcast. Y'all might know you believe what you want to believe. I don't care. That's what I believe. So what I feel about women's intuition is this. I have talked to men who have been on the side of that quote unquote intuition, and these women have been wrong. Okay. Now, I want to say that. And 2, I feel that women's intuition is the exact same thing as the Bible speaks of as discernment is.
Okay.
Because the whole argument I was telling her that God has no respect of persons, right? Correct. So what I used was the measure of faith. God didn't say just because you're a man, you got more faith. It was just because you're a woman, you have more faith. He's given us all the measure of faith. And when we talk about discernment in the Bible, which is being able to look at a person's character inside and out, because the Bible says that they'll also show things to you that you'll be able to see, you know what I mean, as time progresses. That's what it speaks of. And I feel that is discernment. That is not intuition. If you have a feeling about somebody, 9 times out of 10 is because they might give off people can give off vibes. Yes. The point I'm trying to make is that that's not a man or a woman thing. That's a people thing. And then it's up to people as the time goes on to use that discernment if this person is going to be a good fit for you or not. Becky, if you chose to stay with Johnny for 3 years and you know he abused you for 2 of those years, it's your fault that you was with him for 2 of those years and you didn't leave. Johnny, if you chose to stay with Becky and you know she was verbally abusing you for 2 years out of those 3, but you saying you love her so very much, Johnny, that's on you that you got verbally abused for 2 of those years. You had the discernment and the wherewithal to leave. Somebody might have showed you those signs in the beginning, but you still had the choice to make a decision.
So I'm in agreement with you, Jeff. And when I speak, I'm not just speaking just women. When I normally speak, I'm speaking, it goes both ways, because you got women, like I think I made a comment earlier, you got women that are doing the same thing. And I think I did say, you know, so men or women, you know, we don't always have poker faces, and you know, and it is discernment. I just use intuition, but it is discernment. I'm very familiar with discernment. I'm very familiar with the Bible as well. And so I'm in agreement with you on that. And so when I'm talking normally both ways, because some women are just as scandalous as the men, if not worse. And, you know, when we start talking about the cheating, we start talking about, you know, playing the games and things like that. You know, you have a lot of women say, oh, men been doing it for years, so we can do it too.
Well, Marcella, I'm not familiar with discernment, nor am I familiar with the Bible. So look, check this out. No, I'm joking on that. But here's the other part that comes on with that. Now, the guy might get up and leave the room constantly, okay? Because say you're at a restaurant, your phone goes off, and you're trying to be respectful and you don't answer it. What does she say? Yeah. Who's calling? Who's that bitch? You know, they will go on all of that. Okay. And you get so tired of that, and you're trying to make sure that that's not at home. So you excuse me, I got to take this, you know, I'm going, I got to take this. All right. You don't want her to. What was? I think it was something you said earlier, Jeff, when you were talking to your wife. He's like, well, you get to this damn if you do, damn if you don't part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like if I share it with you, it's still gonna be a level of guilt because you're gonna feel like I should have said something.
Yeah.
But then if I do share it with you, now you're trying to figure out who she is, and then we got to get the third degree, and now it's like you feel threatened.
Exactly.
I told my wife, I said this also. I said it would be an insult for me to tell you that I don't trust another man around you. Because you want to know why? Remember, Greg, I said this. I said because I can't control the actions of another person. So at the end of the day, who I have to continuously trust?
That's when I cut out. I was
But
like,
you know what? You know what? That's, a lot of times that's just insecurity. And again, and let's talk men and women.
Yes,
because everything we're talking can go both either way, one way or the other. So a lot of times that's insecurity. I've been with guys that have been, big time businessmen, and I know, we're at lunch, but they're still getting calls. They got some deals making, whatever's happening, and they'll say, excuse me, babe, I need to take this call. It's a business call. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem. I'm okay. I'm not really insecure in a relationship because my thing is, if I'm suspecting you and if I gotta go through these checks, like, is he doing this? Well, what about this? Well, what's this? I don't need to be. I'm not going to even be in that relationship. Period.
That's true. If you got
whereas I feel that you're doing something disrespectful, rude, and things of that nature. What? Hey, peace. I'm out.
Well, Marcy, that's an isolated incident to me. Okay, isolated situation for me.
What?
That for a woman to say, okay, it's cool, all this sort of junk. She's very agreeable to you getting up and doing and taking your phone call. And this. I haven't met a lot of people like that. I met a few, but a lot of them are still like, okay, well, you had to call your bitch, you had to leave the room, talk to her. You couldn't say what you had to say in front of, get out of here with all that.
If I'm feeling that way, that you got these women calling you, and it's more to it than this is just a friend. When I've been in serious relationships, I normally knew his female friends. I might have known, like I'm always around them or something, but I knew of certain friends. And it wasn't to me, I've just never really been a big jealous person. Either you want to be with me or you don't want to be with me, and I'm good. Bye. I've had a life before you. I'm going to continue to have a life after you. And I've just never been
if that person has been, they're out there. A lot of people, they're pretty popular. A lot of people like them. This and that. It stands to reason that you may have some jealousy come up or some moments of mistrust come up because you see this person migrating with all of these different people. You know what I mean? All the time. You're taking pictures, selfies.
That's the perception.
But you know what? It depends on that person and how if they're disrespecting you or if they're remembering that, hey, say if it's with me and I'm with someone and I know, I've been with people who were very popular and we've been to place and they're like, hey, stuff like this. And now it's like, okay, he started just hanging with all these people and it's like, I'm over here as though I'm not with him. I would have a little like, are we together here or whatever? I understand. You're like, okay, look, I'm not, with this group or whatever. Y'all gonna take pictures. Cool. But don't act like I'm not with you. If you start acting like I'm not there, that's when I will have an issue. That's when I will start having an issue. And especially if women are coming up.
Hold that thought. We got this life coach moment in.
Let's take our break.
We gotta have a life coach.
All right, come on. Let's redirect, regroup, and we're gonna refocus. Come on, life coach.
Hey, y'all. It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you with another 1 minute thought. Now, real quick, with just this 1 minute thought, this is how I want to approach this. I just want to say it like this. When we get into these relationships, a lot of times we have to remember what we can and what we can't control. Okay. We're talking about a lot of different subjects that entice us and encourage us to actually talk. Okay. Share our feelings. Really lay it out in the beginning how we want certain things to be. So I encourage everybody, if you're watching this show, take something from it and know that there are certain things that you can control that are in the relationship that you can bring to the table and you can present. And there are certain things that you kind of have to wait, pull back and see and wait for them to reveal themselves to you. It's okay to assume sometimes, but you know what they say about assumption. It makes an ass out of you and me. So if you don't want to be made an ass out of, take your time, use your discernment, and wait for things to reveal themselves.
All right, all right.
This girl here in the private chat, boy. Anyway, the sender had a question. She said, what happens when your mate doesn't like your female, male, opposite sex friend? We're going to keep all of these short because we want to get 2 or 3 of them in, okay? Mm-hmm. Anybody got an answer?
I feel that if that friend has done something to disrespect your spouse or your mate, then you need to figure that out. And if it keeps happening, kind of put some separation, because I don't want to be with nobody who disrespects my spouse or my person who I'm with. Mm-hmm. But if you just don't like them because you don't like them and you ain't got no explanation, come on.
That's jealousy normally.
That's jealousy. Yeah, we gotta work stuff. We gotta work with that, in between that.
Most definitely. Do some quick ones here. Why is the bedroom the first place people want to have sex? Why can't we just do it?
I can't answer that. That ain't.
Sometimes we can. We can go wherever we want to go. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there you go. What baby boy say?
Let's throw it down.
I'm just saying, knock it out whenever. Hey, look, man, on the way in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm single. I'm not doing things now, but when I was, it's like, hey, it didn't bother me. Where
Marcy say, come get it, huh?
Angie said it's tradition. That's why.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Angie. It's like, okay, hey, let's go to the bedroom. Okay,
yeah,
let's go to the kitchen. Let's go to the garage. Let's go to the backyard. Let's knock this shit out now.
Wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Are you good?
As long as the two of you are in agreement.
Sometimes not. Shoot.
Just not the sand. Just not the sand. I don't want sand.
No, that don't seem right. The sand don't seem right.
I don't even like walking in barefoot.
Sounds like things are gonna hurt later.
Bring that ass. Hey, are you do you all, I know you do, Jeff, but just in general, do you all agree or do you practice PDA, public displays of affection?
Got to.
And what's the limit?
You ain't slobbing down.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna
holding hands, hugging, or rubbing the person's back, something, like that.
Playful affection.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Tanisha said, not the sand.
Not the. I hate sand. Between your toes, no, I'm not.
It's grainy.
At that moment, though, let it be grainy. I don't care. Let it be grainy.
No, ew, no.
That's what it is. What can you do? It's that moment right there. Come on, now. It's that moment. Gotta do it.
Get out that moment.
I have questions I would ask off air.
16, 17 years old, man. You look, beep, 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 you gone. It's whatever. Can you?
Still a virgin there, so I don't know.
Can you be? And the room got quiet. All right. Can you be forced to cheat on your mate?
Can you what?
No.
Can you be forced to cheat on your mate?
No. Not at all.
You don't think so?
That's
unless you in a movie, they stole you. They said they're gonna kill your husband or wife unless you don't have sex with them. Okay, then you got a decision to make. But when is that gonna happen?
Nah.
So if the woman,
oh Lord, Greg, what you do? Because you look real guilty. If you were forced to cheat,
if the woman does not give you what you need at home, if the woman continuously, you're making plenty of money, but the woman continuously nags you. I mean, for little stuff. All right. I thought you was gonna mow the lawn today. I thought you was gonna take the garbage out this morning as opposed to this afternoon. I thought you weren't going to buy these gym shoes that you got 120 pairs of already. You as a man, you get to this breaking point. I'm just saying, are those things reasons to say, well, man, look, I got to find me some happiness somewhere. I don't want to leave her. She's a good woman, but
You got to find the happiness.
where?
Why are you gonna stay?
You're
Why
not
you gonna
used
stay? Yeah, I agree, Marcy. Why are you gonna stay in the chaos and find happiness within the chaos? Why don't you just leave the chaos alone and then find the happiness?
Yeah, if it's a toxic relationship.
Okay. Tanisha says cheating is a choice. Angie says people do what they want to do.
Yeah,
that's a broad statement, though. People do what they want to do. All
no,
right?
it's not too broad. It's like you're gonna cheat because that's what you want to do. Either like Jeff just said, if it's a toxic relationship, why are you staying in it? You said, but she's a good woman. Okay, but you're not happy. Nothing is going right. Why are you in it?
How good is she really?
Oh,
well, she used to be at the beginning, but then she just
we ain't holding on to the used tos.
I can't look back anyway. You already know. But yeah, that's a different one.
No, you cannot be forced to cheat. No.
Okay.
No, I can't be forced.
That's where communication comes into play. And I think with anything that you do, so that it can't be misconstrued, so that you can't go off filter, so that you can't do the things that you know you shouldn't do. Talk about it first. Don't just jump off the handle because you see a certain situation. You may see your man assisting somebody who's in need, a damsel in distress, even, okay? But you walk up on the part where the damsel may be giving them a hug, thanking them, and you be like, I don't believe this motherfucker. You
didn't switch the whole topic. You said, can a person be forced to cheat?
Yeah, I'm off of that.
Okay.
I'm off of that. Jacinda says, isn't that where communication needs to come in? As mature adult. Yeah. I mean, many things can be resolved with some communication, and that is the key. Yeah. As you said it as well, communication always has to be present. Period.
Yeah. Period. Got to talk about the issues.
That's what I was saying.
But you got to be willing to listen.
That too.
Listen the correct way too. You can listen just to blow them off.
To respond. To respond.
Or to respond. Hurry and finish talking. I'm gonna listen. I ain't gonna say nothing. Just hurry and finish talking. Let me say what I gotta say, and then you don't get a chance to say what you're gonna say because the first thing they say is, no. I hate when people do that. I hate that. You let them talk, and then you try to get your point across. They be no, that ain't the. Shut up. That's all I gotta say. Shut up. All right. I ain't had nobody by the time I'm done. Tanisha says keyword maturity.
See.
Is there a problem with a man being a stay-at-home dad?
I think.
Go ahead, Marcy.
I think that depends on that relationship and those two people. Sometimes it works because they're in these day and time. Sometimes the woman makes much more than the man. And when you start looking at daycare and all of these prices, and if the man is not really making that much right then, whatever, I don't know. I don't know that I would be able to do that. I don't know, but I got grandkids, so I'm not having no more kids. But it really depends on people. It depends on the people. I would say it depends on them.
I'm gonna say it like this. Me and my wife have been majority of my wife. She's been really looking at roles of the woman and what that means biblically. Like I said, y'all ain't gotta believe what we believe over here in this household. This is just what we do. You know what I mean? Because we like to follow some principles and guidelines. That makes sense, not to control, but that makes sense. Right. So my wife, what she's been doing is she's been looking at these principles and biblical characteristics and traits of a woman. You know what I mean? And she's been looking, and what she's been noticing is that when the wife worked back then biblically, she still worked. She still had her own, but she was still doing it out of the home.
Right.
Out of the home. So she brought value back into the house. So that doesn't mean you can't be a career woman. You feel what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that you can't be a career woman and you can't work. It's just a certain way, especially in 2023. It's a certain way that we can do it now. Okay. Now my wife is looking for the least path of resistance. What gives her that? Trading. she's trying to trade full time, learn how to trade so she could do that full time, and that can replace her income. Guess what that'll do? She only has to do that for like maybe a few hours a day from home, and she can still take care of the stuff that she feels. Keyword, she feels than herself that needs to be taken care of for our household. So I think what we're doing is we're kind of reverting back to some of those old ways, because now women are able to look at things and say, oh, okay, I can work from home. I can do this from here. I can do this now. That's really what the pandemic taught everybody. But there's more than one way to skin a cat in this bad boy.
Yeah.
So I think a man can lead, but with his leading, it's more of a protector portion. You know what I mean? Still providing too, and providing doesn't always mean always making money all the time too. You still have to provide love. You still have to provide an environment where a woman feels safe. You have to be able to provide those things too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Tanisha says the real question is, will the woman still make him feel like he's the head of the household? And
that's a big one. That's a big one.
That's
big.
That's a huge point, because, you know, again, this man, okay, he may have had a great job, but he's lost it, and now the woman has to be the breadwinner. Now, how does she continuously feel? And then there's a point where, okay, this man is he getting comfortable being a house husband? Is he looking for something else? Because it's not necessarily, you don't have to look. Women, and I'm gonna say this, and guys, if y'all don't like me, you don't like me, okay? Women are much smarter than men, period. To me, this is just my opinion. They're much smarter than men, but together when we're thinking together, we're unstoppable. All right, we both have to have that input to make it work. Now, if the man is feeling some kind of way, talk to the woman about it, okay? And if she's, you know, she shouldn't have to come to you and say, well, why are you not even looking for a job, or why are you not doing this, or why are you not doing that? Okay, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's not doing. All right. So, as Tanisha said, can she still make him feel like the head of the household? You know, because you know, and what Jacinda said a long time ago, this is old school. For old school, the man went out to make the money, and the woman stayed at home, had the kids, cooked and cleaned, and this and that. All right. The roles reversed now, even though the man not having kids, okay, but the role is reversed. He's at home. All right. We don't want to feel emasculated. All right. We want to feel like we're the man of the house. So, men, you know, how do you do that? You know, pray on it. That's all I can say. Talk to your mate. Communicate. Thank God I've never had to been in that situation, okay? Because I don't know how I would have been. I probably would have been really stinky, really. You know, but I don't know.
When I was laid off for a month, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
I was laid off just for a month. And when that money started to hit, everything was paid up for a couple months. But when I knew it was getting closer and closer, and we had one more month, I was like, hold on now, we itching over here. You know?
And you know, that's good when the man realizes, you know, that or whatever. But like Greg said, when you start getting real comfortable, and the woman's been working, whether at home or out, you know, elsewhere, and then every time she come home, you're playing a game, or you know, and you know, I'm still cooking, I'm still cleaning the house, I'm, you know, as soon as I walk in, I have to, you know, take the kids. That's a whole different ball game there.
We got 3 minutes. Take a minute. Give your final thought, Marcy.
It's gonna be less than a minute. People, talk to the person that you're in a relationship with. Keep other people out your relationship.
Like Coach.
Yeah, communication is key, people. Like, I think, you know, we say that all the time we get on relationships, but I think the type of subjects we were on today really honed in on that.
Yes.
So don't be afraid to talk to your spouse or the person you with, and just always remember, man, have a listening ear and not a confrontational ear.
Yeah, that's good.
Jacinda said this is a touchy subject. I prefer a man who is a provider, even he is not if he is not the sole provider.
That's
yeah.
Tanisha said, boom. I say this, man. You know, I've been in relationships, been married before, divorced, and there's a couple of questions that I was the problem. All right, being in the entertainment, you know, you get swept away as a young man, not having and then getting to, you get swept away. All right. The thing is, for me as a man, I had to get over myself, and getting over myself meant to really take a whole clean analysis and look at who I was and how I was treating others, my mates, my women, how I was treating them. And as I looked and I discovered that I was wrong, you know, you don't have to cater to me. I was used to yes men. You don't have to cater to me. All right. Let's be on an equal plane. All right. It took a couple of really good women to make me see who I was. All right. I had the privilege of eavesdropping, I'll say, on just earlier conversation. I love the fact that him and his wife can have those conversations, right? Men, to have these conversations with your wives, your women. Make sure that you always, because communication is the key, as we all have said. Communication is the key. Without communication, all of those questions we had, you're gonna get the negative answer for them. Believe me. I'm not life coach, because if I tried to life coach you, you're gonna die. All right, but I can only tell you what I've gone through. All right, period. Okay, I love the fact that we can talk about this on this show and get everybody's opinion too. Thank you, ladies, for coming in and chiming in and giving us your opinion. We appreciate you. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you, Night Coach Jeff. We are out of here. It's the week for us. All right, you guys got Friday, but it's the week for us. All right, we'll see you guys Monday with some more stuff. I think we ought to start doing these questions. All right, till we run out of them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, we'll never run out of them.
Let's do it. Okay, this is Dope Living TV Live. We'll see you next week. All right.
All right.